Namaste, students. Welcome to today's Absolute Masterclass. I am your host, and let me tell you, today we are stepping right into the ultimate arena of economics. We're going to witness an epic, head-to-head battle, the clash between the mighty forces of demand and the unyielding power of supply. We are diving deep into Chapter 4, Unit 2, straight from your ICAI material, Determination of Prices. Trust me, by the end of this explainer, you're going to see markets not just as boring numbers on a page, but as a living, breathing battlefield. So power up, get those notebooks ready, and let's begin. So, here's the game plan for Aaj Ka lecture. We're going to rapidly cover market price determination basics, then striking the equilibrium balance, single shifts in the market, simultaneous market curve shifts, and finally, we'll wrap up by predicting the market outcomes. Going to be a packed journey, so let's get right into it. All right, kicking things off is Section 1, Market Price Determination Basics. In a free market, which is our battle arena, prices, well, they aren't magic numbers pulled out of thin air, right? And they certainly aren't forced by the government. No, they are decided by the continuous, super dynamic interaction of buyers and sellers. It's two powerful competing forces going head to head. And the ultimate goal of this battle? It's equilibrium. Now, this is the definition you really need to lock into your memory. Equilibrium price is the market clearing price. It's the exact point where the quantity demanded by buyers perfectly equals the quantity supplied by sellers. Basically, it's the sweet spot. Zero unsold stock, zero unfulfilled demand, sub kuch hain. Everyone is happy, and the market clears completely. Dekho, just guide your eyes through this data. At a very low price of ₹1, demand is super high at 60 units. But supply? Man, supply is weak at just 5. So buyers will fiercely compete, right? And that forces the price up. But look down at the bottom. At ₹5, sellers are absolutely flooding the market with 65 units, but the demand is only 10. So sellers panic, they drop their prices and force the market price down. So where does the battle actually settle? Exactly at ₹2. At this price, demand is 35 and supply is 35. That is perfect balance. Moving right along to Section 2, striking the equilibrium balance. Now true masters need to visualize the battlefield. Dhyan se dekho is graph ko. Watch closely. We plot price on the y-axis and quantity on the x-axis. That downward sloping curve, that's demand, DD. And the upward sloping curve is supply, SS. And right there, right where they intersect in the middle, that is point E, our stable equilibrium. At a price of 2, exactly 35 units are bought and sold. This is where the price will tend to stay unless it gets disturbed. But what if there is a disturbance? Well, the market has this amazing automatic defense mechanism. Think of it like a healing factor. If we have a surplus, meaning excess supply, competing sellers will just lower their prices to clear out their unsold stock. The price is forced down. On the flip side, if we have a shortage, which means excess demand, buyers who can't get the product will start bidding higher. And the price is forced up. The market literally self-corrects. And this brilliantly illustrates that very healing mechanism in action. Just look at the arrows on the screen. If the price artificially goes up to 15, boom, we hit a surplus. The arrows show the immense downward pressure from sellers who are cutting prices. If the price drops to 5, we hit a shortage. The arrows show the upward pressure from desperate buyers. They both push the price right back to that perfect 10 in the center. The equilibrium is automatically restored. Okay, picking up the pace now. Section 3, single shifts in the market. The real world is totally chaotic, right? External forces like income, technology, or consumer taste are always changing. So, first scenario. Suppose the money income of the consumer suddenly increases. Boom. The entire demand curve shifts to the right from D to D1. Now, at our old price P, there's excess demand. So what happens? The price shoots up to P1. And as the price rises, suppliers provide more, moving the quantity up to Q1. Both equilibrium price and quantity go up. Now, second scenario, the exact opposite. Suppose incomes fall. The demand curve basically loses power and shifts to the left, from D to D1. Now supply completely exceeds demand. Sellers are stuck with all these extra goods, so they're forced to drop their prices down to P1, and the total quantity sold drops to Q1. The market just shrinks. Now let's switch your perspective over to the sellers. Socho kya hoga if technology improves, like a massive breakthrough. The supply curve gets a massive power up and shifts to the right over to S1. Now we have an absolute abundance of goods. Because there is a surplus at the old price, the new equilibrium price drops down to P1, but the quantity sold increases to Q1. Things get cheaper and way more abundant. But man, what if a disaster strikes or technology becomes obsolete? Supply shrinks, the SS curve shifts to the left to S1. Suddenly, there is a massive deficit of goods in the market. Buyers start bidding against each other, driving the price sky high to P1, while the overall quantity available drops to Q1. The battle gets fierce, and ultimately, the buyers pay the price. All right, gear up for Section 4, Simultaneous Market Curve Shifts. This is the ultimate clash. So what happens when both demand and supply shift at the exact same time? It's absolute market chaos. Just look at these three scenarios. Both forces are shifting to the right. In the first panel, they increase equally, so the price stays exactly the same, only quantity goes up. In the second one, demand's rightward shift is way stronger than supply's, so the new price gets pulled higher. And in the third panel, supply shifts way more than demand, so the new price gets dragged lower. It's a total literal tug-of-war for the price. So, the absolutely crucial point for your ICAE exams is this. Here are your golden rules. When both demand and supply shift in the same direction, the quantity is a guarantee. If both increase, quantity absolutely increases. If both decrease, quantity decreases. But the price? The price is completely uncertain. It depends entirely on which force shifted further. Now check out this super complex situation. What if they shift in opposite directions? Demand shifts right, getting stronger. Supply shifts left, getting weaker. In both of these panels, this crazy combination pushes the price up from P to P1. But look at the quantity. In the first one, quantity goes up. In the second, quantity goes down. The tension here is immense. Let's quickly summarize these tricky opposite shift rules. If demand is up, but supply is down, buyers are fighting for fewer goods, so price definitely rises. If demand is down, but supply is up, sellers are desperately clearing huge stocks, so price definitely falls. But the new quantity? That is uncertain. Yad rakna. Remember this. Whichever curve moves a greater distance dictates that uncertain outcome. Finally, Section 5. Predicting the market outcomes. It is master test time. You have learned the theory. You know the rules of the battlefield. Now, let's actually apply everything you've learned to a practical, exam-style scenario straight from your study material. Look at this multi-curve grid. It's literally like a chessboard. Point 1, right there in the middle, is our starting line. Original demand D1, original supply S1. I'm going to give you 4 real-world scenarios, and we need to predict exactly where the market moves next on this grid. Are you ready? Let's go! Okay, step 1, income rises, meaning demand shifts right to D2. But factor costs also increase, meaning supply shifts left to S3. They meet perfectly at point 2. Step 2, price of a complement drops, meaning demand shifts right to D2, and we have a tech advance, shifting supply right to S2. They intersect down at point 7. Step 3, heavy rains destroy the rice crop. Supply shifts left to S3, demand stays exactly the same. The new point is point 3. Step 4, consumers expect car prices to shoot up next year, so they buy now. Demand shifts right to D2, supply is unchanged. We land right at point 5. Excellent work. You just predicted complex market movements like a true economist. You've fully mastered how free markets find their balance. And honestly, you should be super proud of your hard work today. But I want to leave you with one final dramatic thought. What happens to this beautiful, perfect equilibrium when the government suddenly crashes into the arena and fixes prices by law? What actually happens when we introduce price ceilings and price floors? Keep that hunger alive, students, because we are going to answer exactly that in our next explainer. Until then, keep studying, keep visualizing, and go master the market.